Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of White Dwarf magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys, and it goes an absolute massive way to help the channel too. Now, this month we're on issue 473 of White Dwarf magazine, and we also do get a supplementary pullout as well, which includes a updated war scroll for the Herdstone for the Beasts of Chaos, and we also get some stratagem cards as well for UC 40k. So pretty decent. Not as much kind of stuff as before, but it does add up, which is the main thing. Now, time to jump into the actual issue. So, starting off in my favourite section of the magazine, which is the contact section, where people send in their images and their painted up minis to the White Dwarf team, and in the hope of getting featured. And some of the ones that get featured are absolutely fantastic. So, let's start off with the big one. So, we have a pretty damn cool looking Hive City for Necromunda game board that is being built. It looks fantastic. There's a lot going into it, and yeah, it looks stunning. It looks really, really great. Genuinely can't say anything better about it. It does look absolutely brilliant. A really, really cool bit of kit that's been used, and a lot going into it, which is always nice to see. So somebody really, really taking their time and kind of showing off what they can do with a bit of terrain making, which looks really, really good and really stunning. Then we have an awesome Space Wolves, good old Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought, which looks really cool. The base has been done very, very nicely, including having a lot kind of going through it. So there is an orc in the base, as you can kind of only just about tell just there. And then there's all these shards of ice that are kind of sticking up as well. Really, really good use of things like epoxy resin can do things like that for you. And a UV light looks really, really good stuff though. Absolutely fantastic. And it looks very dynamic in its pose, which is nice to see. We also have a pretty cool looking Wormspat warband for good old Warhammer Underworlds, which looks pretty cool with the verdigris kind of turquoisey blue armour. Makes it stand out really, really nicely and has a really cool look to it, and a lot of very well done, I'm presuming Xenophil style highlighting that's being utilised on these. Makes it stand out a lot better. It makes it look really, really cool and enjoyable at the same time. On to the next page though, we also get a pretty cool look of some pretty cool bits and pieces. So we have some awesome Shadow Warriors being painted up there, which look really, really nice. A pretty cool converted Tech Priest, which looks pretty damn cool. It looks like a bit of a Necron unit that's been utilised to kind of make it. And we also have some love for Middle Earth just down here as well, with Pippin, Merry and Sam and Frodo, the Hobbits from Lord of the Rings. And we have a very nice, very well done Tau diorama display just up here as well, which looks really, really good. With having one of the battle suits kind of looking like it's seen better days, in all honesty, and like it's definitely been lying there for a while, and this Fire Warrior has just stumbled across it and he's just checking it out with his drone. And then moving on, we have Smaug. Fantastic kit, and probably one of my favourites from the whole of the Middle Earth range that Games Workshop do. It's absolutely huge, a lot of detail, pretty damn pricey, and one that I only wish I could ever actually get around to buy and not feel quite intimidated by painting, but really, really good stuff. It looks brilliant. The Hobbit is one of my favourite books and favourite films, and seeing that kit painted up and in the pages of White Dwarf magazine is quite inspiring, and it does remind me how much I just absolutely love that kit. It's an absolute beast and it's absolutely fantastic. Definitely one of my favourites as well. So really, really good stuff, and it's nice to see that some love's been shown its way. Moving into the Mortal Realms, we have the Age of Sigmar's Tome Celestial, which is for the Beasts of Chaos. This is giving you an update to the good old Beastmen that you can get for Age of Sigmar, so a nice worthy update as well. So this is to kind of bring it in line with the newest edition, not giving you everything that's new, so there is kind of like the slight tinkering that they've done for the Battle Tome. So this will give you some new updates that you can kind of get through as well. So whether it's new strategies, an updated war scroll for the Herdstone, which is why we've got that card at the beginning. We also have new battle traits that have kind of been added to it as well, and the new Path to Glory match play, open play, and good old other bits and pieces for their kind of strategies and kind of objectives that you can utilise in your games, which makes it look really, really good stuff. You also get a bit of a kind of campaign as well, which is to hunt the dawn, which is hunting down the mortals of Sigmar's hosts that are defiling the sacred herdstones that have been erected upon the Beast Bridge in desire to claim more lands. So this is in Frondia, and you know, you're going to have some bit of fun with it. So it adds to a bit more kind of to your campaign and gives you some nice locations and everything like that. But you can go through and you can have a playthrough this with your friends if you wish to, and kind of have a bit of a challenge going up towards your good old herdstones. Sticking with Age of Sigmar, we have A Tale of Four Warlords. Of course, this has been going on for quite a while, so this is kind of updating you with how much has gone on. So this is the Lumineth Realm Lords, Slaves to Darkness, Cities of Sigmar, and Head Knights of Slaanesh. And I'll just show you the armies because they are fantastic. That is a pretty damn cool Lumineth Realm Lord army. Now, when there's not so much reflection on the page, which normally helps, you can kind of see a lot of work has gone into that 3,500 point army. A lot of cool stuff. There are some little conversions here and there are some very nicely worked bits of painting as well. But really, really good stuff, and I do really, really like seeing that. Then you've got your Slaves to Darkness, also really, really cool stuff. We have Be'lakor just in the background there. We have some pretty cool Marauders. We have some good old Ogroid Myrmidons. We have a Mind Stealer just in there as well, and some good old Marauders as well for good measure. But really, really cool stuff. If all the bases were a bit more uniform, it would look even better. But really, really cool. It's a fantastic looking scheme. It's done very, very well, and it looks pretty unique. Then we have our Cities of Sigmar. So we have a converted Celestia Prime just up here with some Iron Banshees kind of been put around the edge, and some slight changes to it which make it actually look really, really good. It makes it stand out a lot differently. And then we have some pretty cool units, so a mixture of elves, dwarves, men, and other bits and pieces as well, so which look pretty damn cool. So really, really good stuff to see that. And then we have a Head Knights of Slaanesh army. Also looks really, really good. So we have a Sigvald just down here. We have a Keeper of Secrets. We have a Lord of Pain. We have a Mega Gargant as well, which always looks really, really good. As well as usual things like Blissbarb Archers and Fiends as well in there. But really, really, really cool. They look fantastic, and it's always nice to see pretty damn well painted armies in the pages of this magazine. But yeah, really, really good stuff to see these. Heading into the 41st millennium, though, we are greeted by a battle report, which is pitting the wonderful Drukhari, which is the Cabal of the Void Spider paint scheme, which looks really, really cool, and they look quite fun, and they're pretty different. So this is a nice chunky army that has gone up against a lovely Adeptus Sororitas Order of the Bloody Rose army, which also looks really, really cool. And I must admit, I really, really like it. So they do have things like More Than Val, they have Calaness, Celestine, and Hospitaller, as well as having a couple of rhinos in there for good measure, which gives me a little bit of inspiration of what to do with rhinos later on. And I may have to actually tinker with them as well at some point. But really, really good stuff. It's nice to see. The battle route it goes as well is quite fun. The report it kind of goes through shows how heavy-handed and how back and forth a game of Age of 40k can actually go. So it starts off with the Sisters of Battle easily kind of taking their lead in round 1, and then there's a massive jump for the Drukhari. The Drukhari really pull some points back, and then it's very, very good back and forth, and it ends up with being a very, very close victory. In all honesty, which you will have to buy the magazine or anything like that to actually see who is victorious. But it does go on for a few more turns from there. But really, really good stuff. I really enjoyed reading this battle report, and it made me just look forward to them good old Adeptus Sororitas that we're going to get at some point during Warhammer Age of Sig, good old Imperium's run, when I can learn to speak, sometime very soon, which will be really, really good stuff. And then if you're into your 40k narrative, there is of course a continuation of Flashpoint Nachmund, giving you a bit more information and a bit more campaign and details to go through to get with all the different bits and pieces for the actual narrative of 40k, and you can kind of see where some of it's heading, and it gives you a bit more story very easily, as well as having some extra bits and pieces as well to kind of keep you going through your Flashpoint. But really good stuff to have a read through if you're into it as well. And I'm going to end this video looking at the inside of the studio section. So the hobby bingo, of course, being fantastic, and one that I must admit I'm taking part of, and I hope you are too. Really cool stuff. So you got some pretty damn cool looking kits in here. So we have a banner carrier from the good old Dominion box set. We have a really cool Dread Harrow blade. We also have a pretty cool looking good old little horrors just down here as well, which look really quite different with them all being in green. And then on the other page we have a fantastic Army of the Dead, good old the Soulblight Gravelords. So this is your good old Blood Knights, so 10 Blood Knights and 1 Vampire Lord. Having that kind of brass armour actually makes them stand out really nicely and makes them look very different. And it's really unique, it's really cool, and I must admit I really like it. It is bloody good. And it's always nice to see some really cool kits like that as well being utilised in the way that they have by the person who did this one. Really good stuff, and it's lovely to see. Now, the next issue of good old White Dwarf will be on sale on the 18th of March, and yeah, it should be really good fun. I'm looking forward to it. Talking of Warhammer magazines, of course, there is going to be more Imperium magazine on the channel, and of course at some point when it comes out there will be more videos to do with good old Stormbringer, which is the new Age of Sigmar dedicated magazine, which I will be collecting. I'm not in the trial areas. The trial areas so far seem to be York and Hampshire, I believe it is, and a couple of other areas, but really good. I'm looking forward to getting the set as well, so really good fun. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.